Hi everybody, this video is going to look a little different than some of my other videos because I am actually going to show you my Clickup and how I'm using it. Now, I have promised you in the past a video on Notion, but I actually wound up swapping from Notion to Clickup. Now, I'm not saying Notion sucks. Notion is awesome, and if you want some great ideas on how to use it, I believe it was Plan with Lore and Myra Plans It on Instagram, both they did a Notion week together, which I thought was really cool. But for me, the problem with Notion is not that it's not awesome. It is totally awesome, but you have to build out what you want to use. And I'm just very impatient. And what I wanted required a lot of maintenance and a lot of tweaking, and I just got frustrated. Then I saw both some videos on Clickup and I talked to some of my planner friends who also use Clickup for their businesses, and I realized it could be the thing to try. Ironically, my husband's company also switched over to Clickup from Asana, and they're dealing with that right now. What is Clickup? It is a project management app. So I actually utilize the desktop app on my Mac and the iPhone app on my iPhone. I also have the app on my iPad. I found that the app works great from computer to computer. You can also go into it on the website and use it that way, but I have found that the app is just a lot easier to use. One of the things I love about it is that it manages to combine the things I love from Notion, like the ability to host documents within it, the ability to have different views like the Kanban board and the calendar and everything else. But it also is already built out in some ways, and so customizing it didn't take me anywhere nearly as long, and I'm already way more happy with it than I was with Notion after spending quite a bit of time and resources to get it built out the way that I wanted. And I still hadn't quite hit that yet, but with Clickup I've hit my stride fairly quickly, although I'm still making adjustments, but it's nowhere near as high touch when it comes to fixing the things that aren't working for me. I'm going to give you a little bit more information about Clickup before we bounce in, but quick note, I am not sponsored. This has nothing to do, no, I'm just telling you about it because I'm using it and you guys wanted to know. You can use it for free for personal use. It says for free forever for personal use. There are plans that are for different levels of business that charge you monthly based on the number of members that have full access to it. I am in the first tier, which is unlimited, where you're $5 a month per member, and currently I am only paying for myself. Now, I pay a little less than $5 a month. I managed to upgrade a couple months ago when they were doing their spring sale, so it actually winds up being like $3.75 a month or something for me, which I'm totally fine with. I will likely be adding at least one more member in the upcoming months. I'm hiring RJ, my 16-year-old, to help me with some website and e-commerce stuff on the back end, and I definitely am going to want him in there to help with keeping track of all the moving parts. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in how we build that out and how I work with my 16-year-old, let me know and I will potentially make a video on that when we get to that point. We're not quite there yet. However, today I will be setting up a new situation within Clickup for a project I am beginning this week. Part of the reason I got unlimited is that I wanted the unlimited storage. You get 100 megabytes of storage for the personal plan, which is totally fine, especially if you're using something like Google Docs. But I do a lot of like show notes and video descriptions, among other things. And so I just, even though it's documents, I wanted to just be able to store both documents and video within there if I needed to, which meant I wanted unlimited storage. One thing you get is unlimited integrations and automations if you pay for this level, and I wanted the automations for sure, as well as potentially the integrations. Now, the integrations I haven't quite explored yet. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the automations I'll talk a little bit about when I do. I've only done a couple of them so far, but they are one of the most powerful aspects of Clickup, and it's something I continually want to explore. I guess the final note to make is that I have not even scratched the surface of what is available within this. I am, rather than trying to use all the things at once, I am basically building out what I need as I need it, which is the only way I can do it without losing a bunch of time to organization procrastination, which is something I am quite susceptible to. So now that we have talked about basically what Clickup is, let's head into it. All right, so this is how I would refer to my dashboard, although technically it's not a dashboard. They actually have dashboards where you can have certain tasks filtering in and stuff like that, but that's not really something I'm using right now. Same, we're just gonna go down the edge here. You can't see my mouse working, but I'm just gonna start from the left, upper left. So we have the search bar where you can go and search through all the stuff that's in there and find comments, answers, whatever. I haven't really used this that much yet, mostly because I have not built out so much stuff in here and used it for so long that I would need to, but it's great to have it if I need it. Going down the side here, we have the home page. This is where you see the things you have to do today, the things that are overdue, the next things you have to do. I never use this page, generally speaking. That's just not how my workflow is working right now. Now, notifications pop up to let you know what all you are behind on. And again, this is not something I really use. This may be something I use more when I have more people coming into my Clickup, but because it's just me, I don't need this right now. I haven't even attempted to use the goals yet, so I don't use any of that. Moving down to favorites. So I just closed favorites on accident, but that's fine because I never use it. Now we're going to go to dashboards next. That's where you can build out custom dashboards to show you exactly what you want to see, which is something that is similar to Notion. This is something I may wind up building out at some point, but right now I haven't really needed to use it. Again, it's something I think will come in more handy when there's more than just me in here. And then finally, we have documents. And the documents area is one I do go into on the regular because in these documents, I have things like show notes. I've got outlines in here. It's just a big pile of documents. Now you can see here that where they're located means that they are assigned to a task. And I actually, for example, I don't assign show notes to a template to a task because I copy this every single time I create a new podcast. But this interlude was a podcast. I just never added it to its task. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to look for interlude. Here we go. And so now it's connected to that particular task. So that way, when I go into the interlude task, which already is published, you can see the document is attached here. That way I always have the show notes attached to their appropriate podcast. And I'll go into a document to show it. If you ever use Notion, you can do all the same things, right? You can create different layouts and links and all sorts of other different stuff. All those things you can create in Clickup. You can turn things into different headings, into bulleted lists. You can change up the different details on the page. Like you can make the fonts prettier or less pretty, depending on what you want. You can change your layouts. There's a bunch of things that you can do in here. I generally just keep it the basic format because I don't need it that much. There is one document that I have started to add more stuff to, and that is the Project Stash Down document, because this is what is keeping track of what I am doing every month for Project Stash Down for my videos. So I can, if I want to, open up a table of contents and go straight from month to month. And that is something that is not necessary since I only have 2 months in here right now, but the farther along I get, it will be totally helpful. So those are the documents, and there's a whole bunch of different documents you can do. There's other things you can do as well, but those are just the things that are over here on the sidebar. So let's go back to spaces because this is actually the area I use the most. So if I click on the everything space, this has all of my tasks that I have within Clickup showing up on this calendar. Now, again, this is something that I may wind up changing as more projects come in and as more people come into this Clickup. But right now, this is what I need. This is why I don't need the other dashboards, because I can see what is due on any given day just by looking at the calendar. The calendar view is my favorite view. However, there are other views you can pull up as well on Clickup. So we're going to take you across the top. First and foremost, we have sidebar settings. It can just show you, ooh, dark side. Have I done that? I don't like that. Nope. I know RJ loves the dark side, but I don't love the dark side. Anyway, so this is the view that I have starred, like pinned. So this is the view that I come to. And what it shows is the status is all. So it's all of my tasks, whether they are art. There was a point where I did not have all of the published tasks on here. So like closed and done. Now they don't show up. It's only open tasks stills, but I actually like seeing all of them because it shows me not only what's coming, but what I've already finished. But you can add all sorts of different filters. You can show what time period you want. Like, do you want 4 days? Do you want weeks? I like to keep it on the month for this calendar situation because I like to look at the month as a whole. And then it gives you options on what you want to show. And then you just need to make sure you save your view because this is the view that is going to be, if you pin it, this will be the view that you walk into. And then there's also the list view, which separates things out by different statuses, which we'll talk about in a minute. Board view, which is the Kanban style, which I do utilize, but not for this main everything. Actually, we'll come back to that when I go through there because it's just a lot to load with all of the different tasks. And then you can add different views as well. You can add a Gantt view, which is something I know very little about. You can add a timeline view to see what overlaps, a box view to kind of see what different people are working on, a table view, mind map, workload, activity. There's all sorts of different things you can do. I have not messed with any of those yet. Calendar and Kanban, calendar, Kanban, and list are the three ones I have used the most. I can see myself using other ones depending on the project, but again, I'm not quite there yet. So what we're looking at here is everything. And the different colors are different statuses for the tasks. When we get into an individual task, I will talk more about them. But currently, I'm filming today. I have on here 3 things that are happening. The first thing is filming my daily plan with me. If you are subscribed to my channel, you would have already seen that that went up on Tuesday. So I'm filming it this week. And every day I have a reminder that I need to film, right? I have a video about Zig dot pens that went up today. So that has green for already published. And I usually hit publish on that myself once I've answered comments. And then I have a Patreon Live coming up in a few hours that is scheduled, which is what the purple means. And I just need to actually do it, and then I can close it down. But anything green has been taken care of already. So that is the basic kind of homepage of my spaces, which is my main, this is the place I land every time I open up Clickup. Now, what I have is 3 spaces. I had watched a bunch of videos and they were talking about people utilizing Clickup and then not overwhelming themselves with too much shit. And so they suggested, especially if you're working by yourself like a solopreneur type person, to keep it limited. So I divided it up the same way my quarterly goals with HB90 are divided up. My content related stuff, my art related stuff, and my admin related stuff. So these are all spaces. Kind of like if you think about containers, a space is the biggest container, right? That is the thing where all of the smaller containers get put into, like a bento box, I guess. It would be the outside of the box. We'll start with admin because admin is my lightest container currently. All I have in there is finances, and I don't even have that much going on with finances because I'm still kind of half-assing my way through it. These are both repeating tasks. These repeat every single month. So and that's what this little, every month on first Monday, every 3 months on the 10th. So when I finish this for the month, we can go back to the everything. And since I already did the May one, because that was on the 2nd, monthly finances, if we go here, as soon as I did that one, the new monthly finances pops up on June 6th. And then it pops up on the 4th, and it'll just keep repeating based on whatever I put in the automation, which is one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade, is because I wanted the automations. Anyway, so the 2 things where I do the most work are content and art. And so what I did was I created the space, and then within the space, I created folders for all of my different content avenues: YouTube, podcast, Patreon, website, email list, Instagram. So as an example with YouTube, I then have lists which have videos and live streams. So if I click on videos, which is one that has a lot of shit in it, it has everything I'm creating. These are all the categories I have: ideas, on calendar, meaning I've assigned one of those ideas a date. Planning means I'm doing all of the back end, like, prepping the video, blah, blah, blah. Creating means I'm actually making the video. Post-production, this is actually done. Published. Post-production, that would be this vlog. I have not updated my Clickup today. So post-production is the vlog. I'm ready to edit this puppy. But these 2 are being filmed. The one I'm filming right now, and then the one that I am in the middle of filming all week. Scheduled means that it's on the schedule. It's all uploaded. If it's a live plan with me, I've done all the things I need to. And so that's where they all are. I usually hide the published column because I don't need it, right? Unless I need to go look for something. And I keep my idea list in here too. And so that is what it looks like in the Kanban board, and the same thing happens except for some reason I haven't done a great job scheduling. I think I scheduled all of May's live streams in the wrong thing. Whatever, it happens. Podcasts, solo episodes and guest episodes, Patreon, live streams, and all of the other content like the bonus downloads and everything else, right? Like, so these are all patron things that get worked on. Bonus downloads are still in post-production. Bujo themes are scheduled, blah, blah, blah. I've got all of these things in here for content. And then in art, I have it divided up into Etsy shop. Client work is when I'm doing work specifically for someone like for Kristen. Licensing is when somebody licenses something I've already done. Workshops that are coming up, like I'm doing the Sugary Gal shop in November, and then completed workshops, which is stuff I've done already, like, for example, Go Wild. You set your like little statuses when you create your space, and then you can change the statuses based on each thing that you're working on, or you can integrate the space statuses. So like for content, mine are like ideas, on calendar, published, blah, blah, blah. But if I had something in here where I didn't need all of those, I might create its own statuses. Let's go into a video I've already finished. Do a planner review. Fully booked planner. All right, so we're in here. What you're looking at inside this task is it tells you up here how it's like nestled, like a nestling doll, into its different containers. So this task is a video that a piece of content I want to publish. It's kept in the videos list. It's then kept in the YouTube folder, which is kept in the content space. We've got a due date up here, the day the task was created, the day the video is going live, and who it's assigned to. Currently, I'm keeping all of my video descriptions in Google Keep, but I plan to migrate them all over to Clickup eventually. So you would have your attachments here if you want that. And then over here, I have all of the info that I needed for the video. And then up here is where you change the statuses. And so it's published, but there's all the other statuses you can choose. If you use the little arrow, it just takes you to the next status and the next status. The other thing that I have as an automation is when something gets put onto my calendar, it automatically changes its status to on calendar, just to give you a heads up. So now that we've kind of talked about tasks and how they work, I'm going to take you into my Etsy shop. We have Fuckery Series 3, 2023 calendars. Go Wild table needs to be closed out. I haven't figured out quite how to do that yet. So some of these things I need to archive, but I'm not quite there yet. I need to create another list within this Etsy shop. We are starting, I am starting a new collection this week. It is not the Fuckery Series 3 that's coming for the holiday season. This is something new that I am going to be working on, and I want to get going on it. So I'm going to create a new list. We're gonna call it Sexual Nature, because that is currently the working title of it. So that's the new collection that I'm starting. I'm going to inherit the statuses from art. Apply, which means that my statuses are going to be ideas, planning, in progress, under review, build, and closed. So build is not necessarily a appropriate status for this. Everything else is in progress. So what we want to do is work on the statuses here for a second. All right. So active statuses, ideas, planning, in progress. We're going to change under review to art finished. We're going to add a status, which is digitized. You know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this one to digitized. Save. All right, finished, digitized, and closed. I want to have a task for every single painting. We're going to just put one in right now, which is eggplant. Just stay tuned. So we got that guy in here onto eggplants. So what I want to be able to do then is collect with the attachments, collect all of the reference images. That's probably all I'll be doing in the task for this, besides moving it along based on what I want to work on each week. And then what I also want to do is give it a working on date, which I want to start this one this week. So I think if I say I want to finish it this week, then its due date will be Thursday. You can also track your time if you're billing hours, but I don't really do that. So what I'm going to do is put it on the planning for the calendar because I still need to grab all of the reference images. But now if I go back to everything, suddenly that eggplant is going to show up on Thursday when I want to work on it. So, or when I want to be done with it. Now, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go in like I did with this daily here. So the daily plan with me, within that, I have subtasks of film daily, and I've already got 2 days that I've already filmed once they're done. And all I do is make sure, like I said, my calendar says show everything or show all. It shows the subtasks as well. So for creating this, I actually need to film 4 days. Now, what I haven't been doing, because I use paper planners to plan my day, is I don't go in and do that for everything. Like if today I'm filming this Clickup video, but I don't have a subtask saying film, right? So if I wanted to, I could go in and put today for filming Clickup. Right, hit save. Save. There we go. And now if we go to the calendar, and there it is, film Clickup on today. But I'm not doing that currently. I could, but I haven't been, because it hasn't been necessary for me unless it's something like filming a daily over a course of a bunch of days or filming the vlog or whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna hit published on this because I did film this. I'm filming it right now. Oh, motherfucker. I have not filmed the daily yet though. And so that is how I utilize this. I use this to plan my content calendar. I'll go through and drop in, even if all it says is like June Bujo setup, or I want to put a vlog up that day, it might not be fully fleshed out. I'll flesh it out within the task. But I've stopped entirely planning my content calendar on my Google Calendar, except for patron lives and live plan with me's, because those, like anything live, because I need to see it in context with the rest of my shit. But here is where I do all of my planning for all of my content. My Kanban also has a lot of the tasks associated with these things, and I use the Kanban to figure out what all I want to get done during the week. Like the Kanban is like the things I want to get done during the week. I come to this to see what is coming up, what due dates I have. There may be a point where I nix my Kanban and just work in here, but I also love the physical reminder, so I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon. So that is how I'm using Clickup. I know I'm not an expert. There are so many options. They just integrate a whiteboard option that I haven't even felt like trying yet, but I'm using it fairly basically at the moment. So if you are doing any sort of content creation, or just you want to manage your personal life and something like Notion is too daunting to you, there is a way to use this fairly easily without having to build out a lot of the stuff. It's just one of many options that are out there. I used to use Trello. I love the Kanban feature from Trello. I didn't love how it integrated with a calendar, and I didn't love how they started charging for every little thing, so I didn't use that. Never really liked Asana, but I did love Notion, and I find that Clickup combines some of the things I loved with Notion with some of the things I love with Trello, and it just is working for me right now. So I'd love to know your thoughts, and do you use any sort of project management software, either for work or for just your personal life? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Clickup. If you have used it or if you're interested in it, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, friends, peace.